What up? What up? What up?
Work over here. What's up, fam?
Bam Bam. What's going on? Happy Saturday night. Happy Saturday night. Um, we missed last week, y'all.
Yeah,
Did
we took
you
a
miss
hiatus.
me?
Yeah, the emails talking about they miss us.
Yes, yes, yes. So that brings us to our topic because in the email we were asked about our opinion or our take or how we feel or I can't did you remember what the email said exactly what it's asking us for?
It was a DM. It was about
Oh, okay.
our, our view and our opinion and how we felt about the Breonna Taylor situation. Because we were trying to decide between that and talking about the full moon, which isn't here yet. So we got a request about how we feel about Breonna Taylor. Then we just started talking about how, the climate with how social media is talking about protecting the Black woman right now, and I guess how we feel about being a Black woman, and probably how we're being treated at this moment in time with everything that's going on.
Well, we mad as hell. That's how we feel. I mean, I don't want to speak for y'all, but we mad, we tired. I, it's so many emotions. That's what I put on my page either today or yesterday. So it's just so many. I've gone through just like that deflated feeling. Then you feel, you almost have to be like it's almost unbelievable, but not because we've been experiencing it for so long. We've been seeing it for so long. Everything has just been inundating us for so long that sometimes we feel numb, which is not a good feeling. Um, it's just so many. It's heavy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
heavy.
I
A lot
agree.
of ups and downs with anger, ups and downs with sadness, ups and downs with, you do have those moments of like, okay, still, you know, um, hopelessness sometimes creeps in. Because we just did the math on the meme that I also, not really a meme, but the picture that I also shared on my page for the comparison of basically how long these tragedies, murders have been happening. And the first one was the picture of Emmett Till. It was on the same day. And then the um the other picture was Breonna Taylor. Same day. And how many years did we say this was apart? Like 60 some years?
It was 65 years apart that those two incidents happened, but um, being murdered and slaughtered has been since America was colonized. Since
Oh
the beginning,
yeah.
how they colonized it from slaughtering the people that were already here and then slaughtering the slaves that they brought over here as well. So, that's just their MO. That's just what they do. It's in their DNA, just part of who they are. And I kind of feel like us asking for savages and murderers to change is not going to happen. That's just kind of how I feel about it. When a part of a person's personality is that, how can you ask for change from that or reform from that? If you're a murderer, you're a murderer. You're not gonna you're not gonna turn around and, oh well, let me, be a saint. It's part of who you are. It's probably part of your lineage. Your ancestors were, I'm sure, murderers as well. So that
I'm
hope
sorry.
that hopelessness you were talking about is how I've been feeling lately, because it's almost like I don't think that this is going to go away. I think that, you can live in the world and not be of the world and create your own space in this world, but it's hard to be happy and even create your space when you feel like your sister or your brother on the other side of town is being murdered or attacked because social media, your phone is right in your face every day. So you could be happy, this friend over here is vacationing in Bali, and then this friend over here is being hung from a tree. It's just too much going on with that.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about when I was saying the waves of anger and sadness, because it does kind of come in waves, because we are going about our we're trying to go about our lives as normal as possible, or as at much peace as possible. And then you see this thing come across your screen. Then you're in this, this place, and then you see something and it just kind of swoops you down. But then, like you said, you may in the next minute get a picture from a friend who's on a fabulous vacation, and then here we go again. So it's a lot of coming in waves. And it's interesting that you brought up the word lineage, because on my card, one of my cards that I had, and you don't know this, because when we were doing the cards, I didn't really say anything, and I basically pulled one of my affirmation cards that has on here: when I heal myself, I heal my lineage. I am worthy of a peaceful life.
Sure.
So that's just basically like an affirmation card. It wasn't it's not from, it's from my new deck, Renegade Mama, which I pull one a day just to affirm myself in the morning. And so when we decided that we were going to talk about Breonna Taylor and the things, how we're affected by it, I said, well, I'm going to pull an affirmation card, because definitely we need affirming, and we need to understand that we are worthy to live a peaceful life, even though so many things that are not peaceful are happening around us, happening to us, or just being fed into us at an alarming rate. That this stuff is constantly coming at us, which kind of it can take your breath away sometimes, and it can make you feel like you're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because trying to manage all of it, just trying to manage all of the physical things that are happening and the emotional things that are happening. Healing definitely needs to take place, and healing ourselves is where we have to start.
True. But then we have to know that everybody's not going to heal themselves. And everybody's not going to be trying to do the right thing. So I think we need to get rid of the illusion that we are going to get justice. Because as soon as there's one win here, there's going to be a loss here. And I just kind of feel like it balances itself out. And we're fighting. It's like we're fighting for, now we're at the point where we've always been fighting just to stay alive, just to be treated. You're gonna have humans that are human and humans that are inhumane. And I think that thing where we want everybody to hold hands and sing kumbaya, those days are not gonna come. That's not gonna happen. That's because the duality has to exist. So some people and some entities will tell you that they've come here to cause pain, to kill and cause destruction. So it is what it is. And I think it's something that's always going to be. And that's kind of the terms. When I woke up today, I felt how silent everything was outside. And because everybody's probably feeling the same thing. It's really like a slap in the face. Okay, y'all did all this marching. The whole world still stood behind y'all. But we gonna let y'all know, y'all up in Kentucky or wherever the case, a nigga is a nigga. We gonna do what the fuck we wanted to. We can vote for this, you can vote for that, but we are still gonna do what we want to do. That's just what it is. And then there's been a rave lately where a lot of police officers have been being shot. So the climate outside is extremely volatile. There's been a lot of blue alerts lately, and people are seeking revenge because I think they're feeling the same way. You know what I mean? It's almost like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And sometimes I think that the things that the government does is to, pull your collar or your choke chain. Y'all getting a little bit too, now y'all trying to march for everything. We're going to do something to really, like a get back so we can kill your spirit or kill your perseverance, or just like slapping all those felony charges. Or even on one of I think she's a senator. One of the black females is a senator, I believe, or something in Congress, and she has a felony charge. Aside from not being able to vote, you can't leave the country. And this is something that stays with you for a lifetime unless you have some big chunk of change where you can get it taken off your record, or you have to get an attorney and go through the same system that's basically, trying to throw you into a modern day form of slavery, because that's all they're doing is just enslaving you. You can't vote. You're gonna deal with our shit. You can't leave the country. You're stuck here. We're basically turning into a third world country. We can't drink any water from the faucet. You know what I'm saying? So and they said that this was gonna happen. So we see these things actually happening. So to me, your only solution is to get into your own world, into your own bubble, create your own wealth, so you can be able to move about the world, so you can go where the peace is, because the peace is not going to reside here. If we're hoping that this is going to be a peaceful place, it's not going to be that. Every place has its own climate wherever you go, but the North America is when something that's founded off of murder and killing and raping and stealing is always going to be there. It's not going to change. I don't care how many votes we vote. We at half a century old, and it may happen maybe 50 more years down the line. I don't know, but I don't really see it changing anytime soon. I'm starting to really feel like that. I used to be hopeful, but with every election after election after election, it's pretty much, same shit, different day, basically.
No, I kind of feel like that too. Like when I tune in to the collective, which I try not to do too much because it's heavy, and I feel that as soon as like all this happened, I can feel how the divine feminine is, in particularly the what they call Black divine feminine, is, I can feel that she's tired, because we're all connected. I can feel that. I can feel the just the energy is just draining, and not only from racial remarks, but from the divine masculine, and just, it's just heavy. They got to deal with being single moms. They got to we have to deal with being single moms. We have to deal with divine masculine not being there for us. We have to, some of them, not all of them. We have to deal with our bosses treating us wrong or underpaying us our worth and value. It's a lot that the Black woman does carry, and also being thought of as the lowest of the low, like the bottom of the totem pole. And I feel that heaviness, but I also feel that I feel like Keisha is right. The illusion of looking for the justice on this planet, it definitely needs to go. It's not going to happen. I feel like we need to continue to focus on the divine, because I feel like our justice is only coming from the divine, and that's what I pulled. I pulled the Phoenix is rising, and I hope that that's a hope for anybody that's connected to the divine, or they know who they are in their higher selves. That this card just simply means resurrection, surrender to change, and that in the now position, I pulled the chess queen. She's in reverse, but guess what? It says trust and strategizing, and you cannot trust in man. So you better trust in the divine. I feel like this is definitely going to be justice. And I feel like justice will be served only with what Nilo said, healing with the self-healing. Because when we heal, we all heal collectively because we're all one collective. That's why we feel the energy so heavy because we're one. And when people say that, I think they feel like it's just cliche or something to say, but we literally are one collective energy, you know, and that's why we feel it.
I used to believe that we were one collective energy, but I don't believe that anymore. I believe
Well,
that
that's unfortunate because you can literally feel the energy. So if you're not attached to it, how can you feel it? You know?
right. I'm thinking there's a separation in the energy. You're gonna have your good energy and your bad energy. So as a collective, the good energy we're connected that way. But then this bad energy out here, just like how people say we're all human or we're all the same on the you cut us open, we're the same on the inside. I've even said that. I'm not believing that anymore. I'm believing that some of these evil entities, I don't know where the hell they come from, but some of the stuff that's done is not human-like, it's not humane, and it's not a part of this collective. I just feel not a part of the good energy of the collective. It's that other side of the collective. So if there's always going to be good, there's always going to be bad, there's always going to be day, there's always going to be night, there's always going to be an opposite. And even though it's somewhat connected, it can't be too connected because like somebody like me, I wouldn't be caught trying to murder somebody or bring in some pain. So I'm not connected in that way. So I could probably be the light side of that person and that person is going to be the dark. But I think the only hope we have is we can have hope in what our new projects are being creative and to the divine, but there's still going to be that death, there's still going to be that pain, there's still going to be that beating kids up and pulling them over, it's still going to this molestation and all of these horrible things that we're seeing people doing, and that's unbelievable. People now going hunting, they killing other people on hunting trips because people not even paying attention. You can't be connected anytime you mistaken a human for a damn deer and you killing a father and a daughter that's on a hunting trip. But this is the kind of stuff I'm seeing on the media, so I'm beginning to think that some of these entities or invasions that are here posing as human can't be human. You can't be. You cannot be human when you do some of the inhumane things that are done. You can't be connected to somebody of light or a collectiveness of light, or we wouldn't be having to pray and battle and do so much if we were really truly all one and all connected. The only way I can see it uh, is it on the outside, it looks like we're one, it looks like we're connected, but deep down, just like in your lineage, some lineage lines just don't vibe with one another. It's just not gonna be that, or like with some species, some animals eat other animals. So even though they're all animals, they're connected in that way. There's something that's there where you can kill another animal or hurt another human that's causing a disconnect where you're actually not connected.
Yeah, it's called living in their lower self, and that's what where we have that option in this realm. We as a spirit being having a human experience, you can either come here and you can choose to live in your lower self or your higher nature. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not connected to their higher self in that way.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was gonna say. That's kind of just basically like the higher vibrating beings and the low vibration. Because I mean, we know that the low vibrating people are focusing on poverty and all this other kind of stuff. So it makes them a different type of entity. Whereas when you are vibrating higher and you're looking at and the healing, and you're looking at community, and you're looking at compassion and understand all of that, then that makes you another different type of entity. So I would say that, I mean, we all know that the divine is the divine is the one creator. But like she said, some people are actively choosing to live on the lowest vibrational level possible and not interested in going any higher. Like,
exactly. Or believing in the divine or connected to any type of divine or any type of spirituality. There's something else that you're listening to that's causing you to want to do things that are beyond horrific. Because the thing is, if you can just choose not to do shit, just be straight normal, or just stay in your lane. But these people are actively choosing to do some of the most horrible things that when I read about it, sometimes when I watch stuff, sometimes I just can't even believe that it's a possibility that this stuff is actually happening.
Yeah.
So, and
yeah, because in particularly now there is a battle going on. Who said that? One of the astrologers on YouTube. There's a battle going on against light and dark. So I think that that's why it's so heightened and just it's just crazy right now. You know, and even as a person on our level who is, you know, we are connected to light, I still have to calm down and tell my mind, shh, okay, I need you to, because it's just kind of like, if my thoughts are racing and I'm connected, can you imagine a person that's not connected? They in trouble.
Big trouble. All this human trafficking and just a whole bunch of craziness in this. And to me, I don't know if, I think our hopelessness lies in the fact that we want to see everyone be loving and peaceful and come to this thing. And some of the energies are coming around. Like, I'm seeing a lot of men talking about we need to protect the Black woman. We need to be there for her. And ever since the marches, I noticed, even I'm in Phoenix, I'm probably one of the only Black females walking around here. I'm treated very, they're being extra kind. People want to carry my groceries, always speaking extra polite. And I mean, I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate that. And even strangers asking me if I'm okay. Like, are you okay, white women? Sometimes, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. No, are you really okay? Because they really just want to know, like, what are you really thinking? What is it like to really be you? Like, because a lot of people honestly did not know this shit was really going on. They heard stories, and they probably would, just been dismissive about it. But now it's in everybody's face every day, all day. So a lot of people are starting to really see what we have been dealing with. And even when you're talking on social media, they'll say stuff like, oh, well, they shouldn't be treating the police like this. That's why they get treated like this. But you don't even want to hear any of that, because that's that same sentence you should be telling the cops. The cops or the police officers are the authority. They set the tone for everything that happens. You have to understand a person's aggression or a person's fear or a person even lashing out at you or however they're acting does not give you reason to escalate and do any of the things that they are doing.
Right. I think that they're asking you, are you okay? And are you really okay? And giving you all that attention, because for years, Black women have been overlooked by everybody. And so now that you don't have, there's no chance to look away and ignore what's going on now. It's like it's put in your face. You have to face it and deal with it. So
yeah, that's very, very true, because as we know, the Black woman has birthed this nation and carried everything has carried everything from centuries. I mean, we can go all the way back to first.
Yeah, from our children to even slave masters' children.
the first human. So that's why this is so important. So I did pull another card, since we were talking about Breonna and how we felt about it. I went to my inner goddess, divine feminine spirit deck. And it's basically just the same as the affirmation card. The affirmation card again is when I heal myself, I heal my lineage, I am worthy of a peaceful life. And the beautiful bandit, which is card 29, basically says that you get to choose what you want. You get to choose. You have the right to choose to have a peaceful life. You have the right to choose how you want to live, where you want to live, how you want to look, how you want. You have, nobody gets to do this for you.
Right.
So you have to, that's why this is so important. And I know it's probably kind of cliche when we have so much horrible things happening that we're talking about healing, but quite honestly, this is the only way.
You know
And
what's funny?
my perception of it, that's the only way we have to heal what's going on in here.
Yeah. If you're at the,
This is 29 too.
yeah, 11. Both of y'all got 11. I know you.
Oh, okay.
If you are capable of even realizing that you need healing.
Well, no, I'm not. Let me just clarify. I don't know. Maybe you were talking about the same thing that I was, but this basically, I'm speaking to our collective, what we need to do, not the collective as a whole, everybody embodied. I'm speaking directly to the Black divine feminine.
Right. I got that.
And this healing looks like what we've been doing, meditating. Some of us have been doing extra meditations. I took a little class online to learn, getting more knowledge, reading more, spending more time in meditation and prayer. And people say this all the time. We probably said it a million times, but it's really the only path. At least this is what I think, the only path. Because if you are tuned in to what's going on in this physical and what's going on out here in this world, you are for sure going to lose it.
Yeah, you're going to miss it.
Now, you're going to for sure, because it's too heavy. It's not that we're ignoring it, but we need to find our place in this. And you can't find that unless you have a balance and you have a healed, you coming from a place of being healed. So I'm saying all that to say the priority is ourselves, yourself. Be selfish with your time. Be selfish with what you're doing. Focus on yourself and your healing and whatever that is.
And I think that needs to be emphasized, that healing part as the Black woman, because like we said, for so many years, the Black woman has been overlooked, stepped on, used, abused, raped by our ancestors. Yeah, everybody. And so that healing needs to be emphasized, because it's not a matter of, do you think you need to be healed? Black women all need to be healed and affirm, like Nalo said, that we are deserving. We're deserving. And we are no more the tail, but we're the head. And that even those people that still believe in all of this, by the book, religious, talks about the last being first and the first being last. So like she said, Nilo, if you don't do nothing else, you need to find some type of higher being or source bigger than yourself and get connected to it, because that's the only path to healing in this chaotic realm that we live in.
We have to come from the mindset that healing ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically, that's a revolutionary act, because our ancestors didn't have time for that. They weren't given that kind of time. You know what I'm saying? to now we have these times, and this is a revolutionary act when you are taking the time to confront all of the things that have harmed you, deal with it, process through it, come out stronger, keep it moving. This is a process.
Yeah.
This is a process. It's going to take a lot of time, but we have to understand that we do deserve it.
Yeah.
And nobody shouldn't have to tell us that.
Now, another part of the message was, how do we feel about the sentence that the officer got, and the fact that the DA is African American, he's married to a Caucasian, he's the one who delivered it, and you know, that whole dynamic as well.
I haven't really followed that close.
Oh, and one other thing, and then Tamika did a speech where she addressed the DA. You know, she disowned them. She was basically embarrassed. You know, basically calling them. You know, basically like, okay, that's what house niggas do. You're here to be a servant to the Caucasian, to have you deliver or do whatever it is that they need for you to do against us, as opposed to being an advocate. Oh, I'm in this position where I can help our people, but I'm gonna turn a blind eye and do what, you know, just do what master wants me to do, basically. So that's the whole issue with them being upset with him, because he is in a position, you're the district attorney, you're in a position where you can see what's right, make the right choice, or make the right decision.
But you know what though? Honestly, they don't need a district attorney, judge, or nobody to tell them this case, because it should be open close. This woman was innocently murdered. They don't even need a trial for that. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like a lot of things that go on just really don't make sense. So it's like we going up against a system that's never gonna make sense. It's never gonna be for you. So that's my whole thing. So our cry for justice in this world, you know, is designed for you not get justice. Now, Nalo said the family got like $12 million. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you either get money or you get a sentence. You're not going to get both. It's basically like a payoff or a bribe. Oh, we're going to give them this money, but we're going to keep because evidently the police officer has to be tapped in and connected, or they wouldn't care about him. They would send him to jail, so he has to be connected or tapped in some type of way for them to want to keep him out, if not just for the fact that they want to keep their reputation in Kentucky as this is just what we do in Kentucky. Y'all not going to come here and change up, because each state can do whatever it is that they want to do with their people that reside in that state.
I wanna answer the question, as I think we need to go back to this card that I pulled in the present for the collective. And notice the chess queen, it says the chess queen, not king. So we talking about the divine feminine energy right here. The chess queen, trust and strategize. I don't think we should keep bucking the spirit and going against the grain and putting up all this resistance. Marching the streets and all of these petitions, as you can see, didn't do nothing for Breonna Taylor. So I think we need to do like the chess queen is advising us to do, and that's to trust and strategize. And the only way you can do that is going back to what Nalo said.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
And then that whole thing with thinking your salvation is going to come. Okay, well, if we vote for this president, then okay, we're going to be saved. We're going to be this. We're going to be that.
Forget man. Man is doing nothing for us. Period. I don't care what color he is. I don't care what the gender is. There has to be a higher source. Has to be. It's time to go over man's head now.
Mm-hmm. So our salvation is never. People need to see us, especially as African American people, Black people, colored people. We need to see that that's not our fight. That's not our situation. That's not our issue. If they take your vote away from you, let's think about this. Is it really going to matter? What is it really going to do? Because when you do have your vote, what is it that you're getting? What are you still getting, even though you voted for this and you voted for that? The same things are still going on. And you can say it's not as bad, but it's still going on.
Exactly. That's why the chess queen, make your move strategically in peace and love.
So I think that we probably can say with assurance that it's the divine feminine and that is going to lead this all. That is leading what should be doing, what the collective should be doing. And again, I'm going to say it again, that healing thyself is a revolutionary act. Self-care is a revolutionary act. Surrounding yourselves with things that bring you peace and joy and opportunities and sacred time with yourself and your divine higher self. This is all revolutionary.
And understanding who you are.
You're choosing it. And that's what this said. When I heal myself, I'll heal my lineage. And then again, she's saying that I get to choose that I am going to be healthy. I'm going to be happy. I am going to be whole. Wholeness is what we are trying to get to. And no one can give you wholeness but yourself.
Exactly.
I don't care what happens. If everything was the way that we wanted it, if you still not whole and healed in here, you're still going to be searching for, you know what I'm saying?
And understanding who you are as a queen, a divine feminine. Speak who you are, your I am. That's not cliche. When you do the work and heal within, the divine feminine, the queen, comes without. And nobody messes with the divine. It's just period. That's just what it is.
Now, what I got was precious time. And what I get, what it's saying here is you want to experience every moment fully and make the most of your precious time. And I kind of think we're in a critical time now. So my solution to it, or my suggestion, is for you to empower yourself, increase your wealth, make a way and provision for yourself. Whether you can create your own business or, be self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Be able to move about the world freely so you can pick and choose where you can live in the environment and in the climate that you want to live in, so you don't have to really be a part of, trying to force a system that's not really working for you. You can move yourself to in a system that actually works, because you don't have to stay in the North Americas. You don't have to stay exactly where you are or do any of the things you're doing. You can choose to live anywhere. This is a planet. We have a planet that we can live anywhere on this planet. We can be around anybody we want to, and we can do anything that we really want to do. You just have to be brave enough to set the climate for yourself to do those things, so you can be free to move and do as you please, because this place here is really turning into a prison type environment. It's not even, you ever wonder why when people on a vacation, they want to leave America? Like if it's that beautiful, why when your vacation is, you don't want to stay within the 50 states? That is for a reason.
All right. And I mean, that's a good wrap up. Just probably gonna cut out, but hit like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can catch everything that Soul Sisters are saying.
Peace, y'all.
Peace out. Peace and love.
It's a lot to think about. Think about yourself and your space and what you want to do with yourself and your space in this time, in the now, and where you want to take it for your future, for your family, for you. And separate yourself from, because you've seen what this system actually does not do for you. They're not gonna do it for you.
Exactly.
They're not gonna do anything for you. It wasn't designed for you. So you can't You can't make it be for you